It's about that time.
Pre-record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4.
Here we go, Roger.
Then with the coach, Mickey Clayton on INSiiGHTS. 2 eyes in the middle. INSiiGHTS, where we always talk the talk.
Testing.
Got you.
You got me?
I do.
INSiiGHTS Sports Talk.
1, 2, talk and talk.
INSiiGHTS Sports Talk. Traveling the country for the biggest stories in collegiate sports. Bringing you the news that will impact every college athlete in America. From the Ivy League to the SWAC, Big Sky to the Big Ten, Notre Dame, FAMU, Miami or Maine. No university is too big, no college too small. We tell it all. INSiiGHTS Sports Talk with your hosts, the coach, Mickey Clayton, bringing you insight on all the latest stories.
I mean, this time in America when we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King, and all of these people are giving their speeches about 50 years ago. And in 1963, when Martin gave that speech on the Mall up in Washington, was the year that a ton of students from FAMU marched downtown to be in sympathy and do lunch counter desegregation, that black people could sit at lunch counters, and we demonstrated, made the cover of Life magazine because our student body marched in unison.
Our students were on the cover of Life magazine?
Yeah,
okay.
For doing that. Back in 1963, same year that Martin did the speech on the Mall, FAMU students marched downtown Tallahassee to in keeping with what was happening all across the South in terms of the desegregation of lunch counters, okay? So, same year when they, when you looked at, if you looked at the, what they were showing this last several days, right? The bus rides, right? Tennessee State just gave a baccalaureate degree to about 29 students who were freedom riders who went down there. I mean, if you went to see The Butler, the movie The Butler, the son Lewis was in the Freedom Riders. He was from Fisk, but the movie didn't show Tennessee State, right? Well, Tennessee State's on a bus down there for the Freedom Riders, right? And they put all those kids out of school. When they came back, they were dismissed from Tennessee State. And so Tennessee State and the border regions just rectified that by bringing all those kids back and giving them a baccalaureate degree, right? So during this time, you've got all these wonderful memories that are being talked about, the movies on television, and there's a big hookup with black colleges during this time, right? I mean, Jackson State, Southern, South Carolina State, Florida A&M, all these schools did something remarkable in the period that Martin was marching. They were a part of that stuff. They did things on their own. It's like the Tallahassee Bus Boycott following the Montgomery Bus Boycott. That came from the student body at FAMU. I mean, 1956, when those two young ladies who were students at FAMU sat out on the bus, and the bus driver took them down there to the police station, had them arrested. Reverend Miles went down there and got them out of jail.
Did he?
Yeah, and he brought them back to their houses, and then that night the Ku Klux Klan burned a cross on their lawn, and we went down there and got them and brought them to the campus. And the next day, Brodus Hartley called a assembly of all of the students on the campus and announced that we were not going to ride the bus anymore, that we were going to walk. And I never will forget that day. All of the kids who were in Lee Hall, in Lee Auditorium, rushed out, and the football team, players from the football team, the bus was coming through the campus right down in front of Jackson Davis Hall, right across from where the dining room is. They grabbed the bus up on the right side of it as you faced the bus. They went around on the side, and all of them got on the side and lifted that bus up. Made it come to about a 45-degree angle and shook the people off the bus. There were people riding that bus, right? Wow. But they shook them off, right? And that bus left FAMU's campus empty, and the Tallahassee Bus Boycott was on. So it was started by students at FAMU. Our students were involved in the causal reason for it, because they were put in jail, and our officials went down and got them, and then the Ku Klux Klan acted up, and we acted up to counter that, to show them that they were not going to bully us around. And the Tallahassee Bus Boycott went on, and then C.K. Steele formed the INTerCivic Council, which included faculty members and students from FAMU, and they gave guidance to the Tallahassee Bus Boycott. And so that's why today in Tallahassee, down there near Frenchtown, you have the C.K. Steele Transportation Center, and that's a direct result of the INTerCivic Council and the bus boycott. Now, people lost their jobs. The faculty members who became members of the INTerCivic Council and actively participated in the Tallahassee Bus Boycott, those faculty members had to leave FAMU. So people like Wes Elliott and Joan Elliott and Edward Irons and the guy who became president of SUNO, who was in political science, Henry Cobb and his wife Thelma Cobb. They all left and they went to Southern. Wes went to Boston, to Harvard, and he went up there. Wes Elliott was chairman of the chemistry department.
The school got rid of them, or the people made the school?
Well, people made the school get rid of them, right? So Wes and Joan went to Boston, and Wes Elliott worked with a guy at Harvard on the synthesis of chlorophyll, which won the Nobel Prize.
He used to be part of faculty at FAM?
Yeah, and Joan Elliott went to Brandeis to finish her work on a PhD in German. And so all of them. Edward Irons went to Boston University, got his PhD in econ, and now became one of the country's most astute economists. He got a Callaway professorship at Atlanta University, right? So, and the guy that I'm thinking about was in political science, and he went to Southern, and he became president of SUNO, and Henry Cobb became dean of the graduate school, and Thelma became department chair of his wife, became department chair of English. And so those people left together and drove. It was the same year that I graduated. I graduated in 1957, and in June of that year, as I left to go into the military, didn't have anything to do with these people leaving, but it was coincidental that I was graduating. And
thanks to the crew, Arnett Moore, our music producer, Julio, the voice of one, our blogger, and our producer, Gerald Tooks of G Squared Productions. Talk to you soon. Insights.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac 4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac 4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac 4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representations.